Hello everybody and welcome to another Amulet video, and this is going to be the least creative deck tech of all time. I just wanted to play Amulet today and I'm going to be playing the same deck list that I played last time. So let's just get into the matches. But before we do, I wanted to let you know that if you would like to support the stream, if you are enjoying the content that I make here on this channel, you can do so for free at no cost to you whenever you use the TCG player and Mana Traders links in the description of the video down below. And of course you can support the stream directly through Patreon, through donations, and through booking coaching sessions. So all of that's available to you in the description of the video. Let's play some Magic, shall we? Okay, so we're starting off with Jegantha Gamer. This hand is weird. Yeah, we're gonna ship it. If we had an untapped green source, I may just keep this hand, but not when my first play is gonna be turn 3 Explorer, right? This hand is worse, so we're just gonna go to 5. And this hand is pretty decent, so bottom that, be done there. So let's think. If I play Saga on 1, I can go play Saga, turn 2 play Boseiju, turn 3 find Amulet. So I think that doesn't really get me anywhere. So I'm going to hope that I find a land, and I'm going to play Saga on 2, which will give me a turn 4 Titan. Turn 4 Titan plus Amulet. Obviously, we may be playing versus, I don't know, like, I guess Breach, so potentially no counterspell, which would be great. And DRC is probably better for me than Monkey. Monkey would actually be a problem. I would probably need to play out this Gracer if my opponent had to play the Monkey here. A little bit punished, though, by naturally drawing the Monkey and not finding a land, because if I want to, like, I'm gonna need to back for another Monkey on turn 4, and I need to hold on to this Monkey, meaning I'm gonna take some hits from this DRC. Hopefully it's just a DRC and they don't have like a Swift Spear or something else to stack on top of the DRC. So opponent untaps, place a land, and Sprite Dragon. That's a problem. Sprite Dragon is always the card I'm the most scared of out of the Prowess decks. Okay. So what this allows me to do is just to play out this Gracer as a blocker, which is kind of nice. So we're gonna play Sanctuary, bounce Boseiju, and replay the Boseiju. And now we can just Titan my opponent next turn while having a blocker. Iteration. Okay. Here come the fireworks. Let's see what my opponent can do. Being in Mutagenic Growth. I don't think they were supposed to bin that. Like, that's a lot of damage. If I were my opponent, I would definitely have kept that Mutagenic Growth. Maybe they want to bolt the Gracer here? They do. Okay. So we don't have blocks. One thing that I would really like would be to draw an Amulet Vigor, because that would be lethal, and swinging for lethal is good. I actually do approve of swinging for lethal. Oh, they already had a Mutagenic Growth. Okay. All right. They do not get Delirium, which is nice. So let's float a mana here, and we're obviously going to get an Amulet. So now we actually have to think. Because I can, if I go get a Susa, I can Prime Time, or I guess Gracer is better than a Susa in this spot. So if I go get Gracer, I can go play Gracer, that is 2 mana, then play 2 lands. I have green floating. I play Titan, I haste it, I attack, and I'm gonna be 1 mana short of double striking, which is rough. So what if I go for combat, I attack, I get Dryad second main phase, and I guess I get to kill DRC. I also get to deal 8, so my opponent's going to be at 6, but I'm going to lose to Breach into, like, Mutagenic Growth into, Breach into a bunch of Mutagenic Growth, I mean. So Bog is kind of interesting as well. I guess I'm going to pact for Gracer as a blocker. So let's go with this. And I think I'm just going to bounce Boseiju here. We are going to haste the Prime Time. We are going to haste Prime Time, swing for 8. And then of the attack trigger, I'm going to get Bojuke Bog. I'm going to get Bojuke Bog plus what? This is the easy part. We get Stronghold and we get Garrison. I guess I have to get a green source, right? That's the only way that I can Gracer post-combat. So we're going to bounce here. Swing for 8. Say yes. Yeah, because Valakut plus bounce land means I get to kill the DRC, but then I lose to Breach. So we're still in the same spot. So I think it's better for me to go bog into, I guess, castle. If I do find a bounce land here, if I do get a bounce land, that means that I can also hold up Boseiju. Does that do anything at all? Probably not. I don't think I'm going to need the Ursa Saga. My opponent could kill the Titan, I guess. But I don't think I can beat that. And they would need a double bolt because then Holy Heat's not going to do anything because of the bog. So yeah, I think we're just going to go get Bog and Growth Chamber. Bog my opponent. Untap both. And I'm going to pact for a Royal Grazer. Bounce that. So swing for 8. Summoner's Pact for a Royal Grazer. Grazer. Play this. And we're going to bounce Bojuga Bog. Pass the turn back. Alright, do your worst, opponent. Bolt the Grazer. That's how things start off. So that means we're taking at least 5 land. So opponent kept on top with the DRC there. Soulscar Mage. I mean, we still win here. They need to leave Sprite Dragon to chump block. Because we're going to pay for Pact on upkeep. And then we're just going to +2/+0 and double strike. So even if they bolt the Titan, it's going to be a 5/5 times 2. They still need to chump block with the Sprite Dragon. Or at least trade with the Sprite Dragon. And this would be Lightning Bolt number 3. Weird that they kept on top with the DRC. Like, what could they have kept on top? Alright. That attack, I think, loses my opponent the game, if I'm not mistaken. Unless they have a bounce spell, like Vapor Snag or whatever. I'm not going to play around Vapor Snag. There's no way my opponent has Vapor Snag. Play bounce land. Bounce here. +2/+0 and Vigilance. Go to combat. Attack. And I'm just going to get Gruul Turf. Gruul Turf plus Sunhome. Bounce Bodo's Garrison. And ask my opponent the question. What do you got? What do you got? Okay, they double block. Probably not going to matter too much. But here's 16 damage. Is that good enough? They did have a Lightning Bolt. Okay. I don't think that's enough. So this is now 10 minus 4. That's still exactly 6. Yep. Excellent. Awesome. All right. Winning game 1 versus Prowess is huge. So we want explosives. We want Kalni. And we want endurance for sure. We may want some amount of dismembers. This is one of those matchups where it really matters that you destroy their thingy. Like it really does matter a lot. They could have Blood Moon. They very likely have Blood Moon, but I don't think. I mean, I can probably like bring in 4th Boseiju over the Cavern and just call it a day. I think I kind of like this member on the draw, at least a couple of them. So let's bring a couple of these members, and I'm gonna cut. Let's cut the last Cavern of Souls and maybe Expedition Map. I always regret it when I cut Expedition Map, but it just opens up so many lines. It's possible that I should be cutting something else, maybe another land, most likely another land. We do have the turn 1 Dismember, so I think we keep this. We also have Engineering Explosives, which is very nice. Let's see what my opponent's got going on over there. Turn 1 DRC. So I can dismember right now. I think I'm going to play Castle tapped and say go. And I'm going to hope that my opponent overextends into an explosives. And I'm going to save the dismember for specifically the Sprite Dragon. I do like that this hand already has Dryad and Valakut set up and ready to go. But yeah, my opponent has way more 1-drops than 2-drops, so I'm going to hope that I can get... If I can afford to, of course. If I can afford to. Like, the ideal scenario is my opponent... Oh, okay. I was going to say the ideal scenario is my opponent just plays a Sprite Dragon here, but oh, that's so good for me. Wow, yeah, that's great. So play Grazer, and I think I'm just going to get the Sanctuary out of the way here and replay the Castle Garenbrig. So now we have a blocker, which is really annoying for my opponent. They may even use, they may even use a Lightning Bolt on this Grazer, which is just so good for me. Opponent's missing land drops, still have Dismember. Oh, they upkeeped the Bolt. That's smart. So now, best case scenario, they just play another DRC, right? Oof, this is so good. This is just so good for me. We even get to hold up Dismember. Just casually do it all. Yeah, let's do that. So x equals 1, and I'm just gonna blow it up right now. I don't want my opponent to like get a bunch of value from DRCs, and we still have another answer if we really need to. Yeah, they would have gotten so much value. We got a nice clean 3 for 1 there. Let's see what my opponent Alpine Moon's here. I mean, they don't know that I have Valakut plus Dryad going, right? So they most likely name Ursa Saga here. So any land would be a great draw, because then I can just start throwing bolts at my opponent's face. Unless they just name Ursa Saga. Oh, they just named Valakut. Wow, some next level shit right there. Okay. I mean, I'm gonna have to find the Boseiju, and then I win. So play Azusa, play Bounce, bounce this, and play this. Just play Dryad and pass the turn back. They have nothing. And now we have Painless Dismember. You love to see it. Yeah, that's strong. It's pretty good. That is quite good. Play that. Bolt a ya face. Always yes, always yield. They can have Unholy Heat for this though, and this would be very bad for me, but Path to Exile. Okay, that's not as bad as Unholy Heat. Maybe I should have attacked first, actually. I mean, I can still find the Dryad, so I'm gonna bounce a bounce land anyway. But I'm gonna bounce the red one because I already have red and white, and this means that if I do dismember something, I have to pay less mana. Really, they're splashing white for Path to Exile. Of all the cards you could be splashing for, Path to Exile is the chosen one. That's so weird to me. Also, the path kind of guarantees that they don't have Blood Moon, right? Because if they're playing Blood Moon and Path to Exile, it's a little bit of a numbo, I would say. All right, Azusa. Oh yeah, baby. Swing for 2. Come on, girl. You got this. You got this. Double up that clock. Double up that clock. Ooh, 5-turn clock. 5-turn clock. Okay, opponent place lands and shocks. They're gonna breach. Okay. But breach without... Honestly, like, breach without Mishra's Bubble here is not that good. Like, they get some... I guess some DRC action, but... doesn't seem particularly strong. Also, like, however they slice this, if they want to play another DRC, they're just gonna not have Delirium anymore. So they... Like, Azusa still attacks through all of that. Yeah, that was not the most impressive Underworld Breach I've ever seen, I'm gonna say. Okay. So now the Breach is gone, but I don't want to dismember just yet. So let's just untap. Let's play my land, and I'm just going to attack here. I assume opponent doesn't block. Still gonna double strike there. The question is, do I want to dismember to limit the amount of value my opponent gets? I think so. It means that they're going to have Delirium, but I think that's fine. We're going to have 2 3/3s next turn. They both face. Wow. Okay. Breach doesn't kill me. Second DRC. Okay. So they swing. So I'm going to make a construct here, and that DRC is just chump blocking, but we do die to another Underworld Breach. Never mind. Okay. Another construct. Punished for cutting Expedition map, by the way. As I said was going to happen. So they need to chump here. Can I do this twice? I guess there's no real use in double striking. Yeah, just gonna attack with the construct. They do have to chump block here. I mean, they could have bolt number 4, I guess? Number 3. Or what? Path to Exile? Another bolt. Okay, that's a bolt that doesn't go face, so it's not the actual worst. Good thing that I didn't attack with Azusa. And I guess I have infinite mana, so I'm just gonna play out this Grazer as a blocker so I don't just die to... I guess I lose to Breach regardless. Here I just get to untap all my lands, but it doesn't really do anything. Look at this. All my lands have Vigilance. Yeah, pass the turn back. Can't really do anything here. I can bring my opponent down to 1 once they attack with their DRCs, so I just have to dodge 1 draw step, really. And they drew Expressive Iteration. Of course. Of course they drew Expressive Iteration. Of course they drew exactly Expressive Iteration. Man, it's so rough. It's wild the amount of times that this happens. I mean, I do get it, right? Like they're just like beating a bunch of cards. They have so much card selection thanks to the DRC, but like still, it's so good. I guess it's a little bit worse than if they had drawn Breach, which would have been actually just lethal, but it's still kind of tilting nonetheless. Okay, so they're out of mana, so I guess I'm just gonna block this Pride Dragon. So I have another block next turn. Because if they have Mutagenic Growth, I just go to 1. So any artifact wins the game. Any artifact wins the game. Endurance slows it down considerably. Actually, Endurance maybe just wins also. That's brutal. So I guess I bring my opponent down to 1. And then I hope that they have literally no spells. But doesn't bode too well for the good guys. Doesn't bode too well for the good guys. And so Endurance probably would have won. Oh! I could have double striking Azusa as well. Well, I deserve to lose this now. Yeah, I actually missed lethal. So what I do is I just play Rot Farm, bounce this, play play that, bounce that. So I could have also double striking Azusa for exactly lethal. So it actually messes up. I should have just won this. Ugh, that's brutal. I got too hasty. Yep, I messed this up. This was the line. This that we see right here. This that I'm doing right now is what I should have done pre-combat. That's tilting. Okay, yeah, I'm an idiot. I should have won this game. Now I'm just gonna lose to I guess any spell. Infuriating. That is infuriating, but it looks like my opponent has literally nothing in hand. Prime time. Yes! Save me, prime time. Oh my god. That was so bad. That was so bad. That was so heinously bad. Wow. I just got bailed out there. At least I saw the line afterwards, right? Wow, that was really sad. Alright, see you next match. Alright, second round, and kind of an interesting hand actually. All we need to do is draw a Primeval Titan. And we have Cavern too, we have Boseiju as well. I think I like this. I think I actually like this. We also are fine versus Monkey. Yeah, this seems like definitely a very interesting one. Like it's not an auto keep, but I want to see what happens. Particularly with my opponent revealing nothing, right? Like no companions. If the Inquisition or Thoughts is my Explorer, I'm going to be a lot less happy, but because this could be scam, I guess. That's an Amulet of Vigor. Okay. I'm going to like play that into Spell Pierce. And I think I'm just going to play out this Boseiju. I do want to play this Amulet though. Passing the turn back. Okay. My opponent played a Bloodstained Mire and passed it. So we don't really know too much about what they're doing. Maybe I should have played a Cavern of Soul instead of Boseiju, because now if I need to Boseiju something, I'm gonna need to like play this out. Also, they could be playing Counterspell, and I think it would have been better if I played the Cavern instead of the Boseiju. Okay, Kitra Triumph into Blood Crypt. So I guess this is creativity. Boseiju, my Amulet. You got it. Seems very, very reasonable. Oh no. I guess I'm just gonna play my stuff out. Not that it matters too much. Just the casual double Boseiju hand. But if I do draw a Cultivator Colossus, I can actually just cast it, so that's nice. So I have 7 mana here, which means if I draw Primetime, I'm gonna be in good shape. Ugh. Fable is bad news. Alright, can I draw Primetime or Colossus here? Summoner's Pact, Dryad. I can't even double strike. Yeah, so we're just gonna do this. And actually I can't Boseiju this, because that will give them a dwarf which they can use to then like target with creativity. So if I actually do that, like it's bad for me. Like if I Boseiju the Fable, they actually get to double arc on me. Burst Lightning and Lightning Bolt. Wow, Burst. That's a card, I guess. Burst Lightning. Yeah, you can definitely put this into your deck. Like this is how deep people are going to to make sure they can kill Monkey in the early game. It's pretty funny. I guess that it makes sense. Like Unholy Heat is not gonna be active that often in the creativity deck, so having Burst Lightning instead makes sense. It still feels really awkward. Alright, there's the foothills. And I guess if they get a dwarf here, they can... No, because I can block the Goblin Shaman, so they can't actually... They can't just double creativity. Okay. So there's Archon, and they reveal Ciatora's Proving Ground, Fire Eyes. So I'm not seeing any sort of weirdo like Leyline Binding stuff going on. Funnily enough, if we do find Prime Time, we just win. So there's that. Prime Time? Easy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. So we just get double Valakut and then play the Boseiju. Double Valakut your face. Always yes. Always yield. And play this out. And that should be game over. Exactly lethal through the Archon trigger. Good thing my opponent like took 1,000,000 damage from their lands. Otherwise it would have been hard to win. Okay, so Boseiju is obviously great. Engineer Explosives is good. Like, it's okay. Bojuki Bog is medium. Cavernous Souls also kind of medium. Oh, they showed me Persist, though, so I guess I'm going to hold on to the Bojuki Bog. I think Cultivator Colossus is defensible. Sometimes they will actually just go over the top. Like, you need a way to, like, really make sure you close the game out. So let's cut Explores, and I think I want to cut a land, which is gonna be maybe Ursa. No, they can't have Force, so I guess I do like Ursa Saga. So I guess it'll need to be Cavern. This gives me room for one more Explore. I don't think I care for Tireless Tracker. I don't think I care for Dismember, unless I see something like Unmordigo, which my opponent could have in their sideboard. But unless I see something like Unmordigo, I don't think I want to be doing anything crazy like bringing in trackers. Okay, so we saw Prismatic Command and stuff like that, so I don't think this hand is going to cut it, so let's just mulligan to 6. Speaking of hands that are not going to cut it, let's mull to 5. This hand looks decent, though. So we can keep this hand, we can bottom Gracer and bottom Summoner's Pact. And now we have... I guess we're going to go turn 1 T-West, pass the turn back. That's a terrible draw. Absolutely heinous draw. Probably the worst possible draw in the deck. Even another Summoner's Pact would be more useful than a Cultivator Colossus. And it's gonna be a good card to discard to the Archon trigger. 2 mana, Ren. Okay, so they're gonna get back Scalding Tarn. This means we get to resolve Amulet, but my opponent showed me Prismari Command and stuff like that, so it's not super likely that this Amulet is going to make it through the turn. So what's my best draw here? Probably an Azusa. If I do find Azusa. So right now, yeah, Azusa or Gracer would be my best 2 draws. Okay, no Prismari Command, that's good. Expedition Map. Okay. So I guess we play Map and we play Sanctuary. It untaps, and now we have a route to Titan next turn. Unless they have Boseiju, which they could have, but if they had Boseiju, they should have probably Boseiju'd my Amulet already. So they could have Boseiju, but it would be kind of weird. Opponent replays that Scalding Tarn. The little Scalding Tarn that could. It's doing work. It's doing some serious work over there. Okay. Opponent up to 8 cards in hand. They're gonna go for the Archon. Looks like they aren't. Okay. I was just gonna crack this map then. And find that growth chamber. So I think that the more time goes by, the worse things get for me at this point. So the question is, do I want to pact for Gracer or do I want to pact for Azusa? I think I'm going to pact for Gracer. Yep, it's pact for Gracer. Summoners Pact, get Gracer. Play Gracer. Play Growth Chamber. Float some mana. Replay this. Now we're gonna have Prime Time. Bounce. They have something for this? Aether Gust. Okay. Well, it's not playing around Aether Gust. That's for sure. I'm still gonna draw the prime time next turn, because I need to pay for Pact, and then I can sort of go from there. Huh, that's rough. I didn't know that the creativity decks were sideboarding Gust these days. I'm not gonna be able to beat double Archon though, so if they do have an Archon here, I'm probably just gonna pack it. So I'm gonna take a look at their deck, but I can't win. Oh, they just have 2 in the top 5 cards, so I don't get to. Okay, that's fine. Aether Gust, man. Wow, I've not had my Titan get Aether Gusted in so long. Do I care about Dismember? I don't think so. I think we're just gonna submit the same. Man, I hadn't gotten Aether Gusted in a really long time. Not missing it. It's a good hand. It's quite the mediocre hand. It can do some stuff though. I think I'm keeping. So we can go turn 1 Kalni, turn 2, land into Saga. And then if we find Primeval Titan, then we can cast it on turn 4 with an Amulet in play. On the turn that the Saga pops. So that's kind of nice. Move to 5. Play Kalni Guard and go. I don't think I play around like Nature's Claim or something. I don't think I do that. There goes Explore. Here comes a Valakut. Your go. And now next turn I can go Forest, and then last turn I go for Castle. There's an argument for playing the Forest there, actually. I do like that this hand gets to pressure Ren and gets to make chump blockers for... Oh, they do have Nature's Claim. What? Okay. Well, that's good for me that they did that like that. I guess they did have Nature's Claim, huh? If they have Ren, that's kind of a big problem. Yep. So Ren actually covers the plant token, which is very annoying. It also means that they never miss a land drop anymore. That's a Growth Chamber. I'm gonna play a Bog and pass turn. Our best draw is gonna be Dryad. Dryad is far and away the best card that we can draw here, because Dryad also enables our T-West. Unfortunately, the way our mana is set up, I cannot, unless I find an Amulet, I can't transmute. That's actually that's a reason to do that. So I should have played Tolaria West instead of Bog, because the Bog doesn't disrupt the Ren, because I know they already have a Scalding Tarn, and it actually makes it, if I draw, yeah, if I had drawn, oh, okay, now that was the mistake. Okay, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. So on the previous turn I should have played Tolaria West, because if I draw Amulet, I get to play Bounce Land and return it to hand. But now on this turn, it was correct for me to play Forest, so that if I top deck Primeval Titan, I can play Castle and cast it. So I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here. I need to slow down a little bit. So lucky that opponent has been hitting the land drops every single time. So lucky. Why would they not fetch and get it back? Weird. Okay. So we're gonna play that and bounce Bojuka Bog and pass the turn back. So if we need to Boseiju something, we can. I don't think it's going to matter. If we draw Titan, we can cast it, but at this point my opponent has been telegraphing that Aether Gust very, very strongly. They get back Scalding Tarn. I imagine they replay it. Okay. So now we're gonna be able to transmute. Amulet is quite interesting. Okay, so let's think for a second. So I play my Amulet. I play Castle. Next turn, I spend 3 mana to transmute. I have a Castle in play. I can still cast Primeval Titan. So I'm just gonna do this very casually, and I'm just gonna do nothing and pass the turn back. The problem is, like, at this point, my opponent can just make a dude, and they can just ignore. They can just Gust. They just can make a dude and hold up Gust. So at this point, I think we are locked out. Instead, Prismari. Okay. Draw 2 and destroy target artifact. Discarding 2 Myers. Yep. I mean, I kept a speculative hand, and obviously things worked out in the worst possible way, where I drew literally nothing all of these turns. Like that Amulet was obviously not a good draw. I needed to, Dryad would have been a fine draw, Summoner's Pact, or Primeval Titan, or even Colossus would have been great, but I just didn't, just drew a bunch of blanks that do anything. Boseiju my land. Okay. So now they're just gonna Rainbow Seiju. Best case scenario would be my opponent ultimates this Ren, right? They get back Scalding Tarn. Interesting. Even when they know I have this Bajugabog here. So as is, I can still cast Ecolossus, but I doubt that it's going to matter anymore. Are they going to play around Dismember? They are, okay. So I guess I have to draw what matters anymore. Does anything matter anymore? I don't think anything matters anymore. I think we're just locked out. Even if we find Dryad, we're gonna get to kill one of these Archons and then the other one's gonna kill. Or just too late. You are simply too late. I mean, I guess I'm gonna get Cultivator anyway, but I don't think I can win this game anymore. So let's play Bog. Pretty lame Cultivator there, if I may say so. I'm gonna bounce Colony Garden, I guess. The problem is we're gonna need to pay for Pact, so... Oh, we're actually just literally taking lethal, so never mind. Yeah, it was just one turn too late. Unfortunate, very unfortunate. See you next round. Okay, round number 3, and this hand is a great example of a hand that looks bad, or like it looks very trap-like, or something like that. But it's actually legit very, very good. So we're gonna keep it. What we're gonna do is we're gonna play Saga on 1, and we're gonna play Amulet. And then once the Saga pops, we can just go get Expedition Map. Expedition Map finds a bounce land, and then we can go from there. And if we find any bounce land, I guess any green bounce land, we can simply just get another Amulet, and then we're going to have lethal on turn 3. So it is a land that is deceptively powerful. Let's call it like that. Stomping Ground can be great for me or really bad for me. Crushing Footfalls. Well, there you go. So now we just play that out. And this is game 1, so I'm not afraid of Force of Vigor. Like, if this were game 2, then Force of Vigor would be obviously a crazy blowout. But we actually just get to deploy our stuff and not have it matter too much, which is great. We even get to cast Explore thanks to this basic forest, which is great. Love that. Might as well get a little bit deeper into the deck. Have some more options. I think I'm going to play out the Valakut just so it sits in play. Even though it's probably not going to do too much. And we just play a second Amulet and say go. Yeah, this hand is turning out really, really well for us. Best case scenario, opponent just like plays a Shardless Agent here and then we untap and they die. Worst case scenario, they have Blood Moon, so... definitely some good and bad case scenarios in there. So here's Expedition Map, as I was saying. Crack the map. We're going to get Simic Growth Chamber. Play the Growth Chamber. And this is going to allow me to cast the Dryad. And then we're going to have exactly enough mana to cast Primetime afterwards. Here's a bounce land. And I guess they could have Subtlety. So I would actually lose to Subtlety. Can I play around Subtlety though? I don't think so. So I'm going to Summoner's Pact right now. They have Force of Negation. They have to cast it here. They do have Force. Okay, so there goes that. And here's another one. Primeval Titan, float mana. That's 6 mana. Gonna bounce the Forest. Play this out. And now we're gonna get second Valakut plus Stronghold. This is going to haste Primetime. And they're gonna be very much dead. Okay, Rhinos, and we saw Temur only, so that makes things a lot more awkward because it suggests that my opponent could have Blood Moons in their sideboard. I don't think that changes that much, however, and it just means that I bring in Boseiju. That's really all that it means. I could bring in Tireless Tracker as a way to grind and as a way to win through a Blood Moon, so I think that is defensible. Let's cut a couple of Explorers, and we can cast cut a Cavern of Souls. Actually, let's cut a couple of Urza Sagas. Bring back the Cavern. I think this is fine. I could maybe bring in... I can bring in more Explorers and cut maybe an Amulet or something. This hand, on the other hand, unlike the previous one, this one is actually a trap. So, I'm gonna mulligan that one. Okay, so this hand is quite interesting. I think I'm gonna keep it, and I'm gonna bottom the Celestia Sanctuary. The idea here is I'm going to lead on Ursa's Saga. We'll see if my opponent does anything about it. But my goal is going to be to copy to Vesuva my opponent's basic forest. Alternatively, we can go turn 1, Vesuva, copy your land. Turn 2, play Saga. If they do something, they can explore that. That's probably better, actually. Because I'm not trying to erase them. The Titan is going to show up on time regardless. So I think it's probably going to be better for me to Vesuva my opponent's forest. It just gives me more options for turn number 2. Especially because it means that any untapped land allows me to just do my thing. Yeah, so let's Vesuva my opponent's stomping ground. Good for me that they played a land that tapped for green. But yeah, it's definitely likely that my opponent... Oh, they're just going to Fire Ice me? Okay. It's definitely likely that my opponent may... Yeah, they may have Blood Moon on turn 3. So they Fire Ice me. So... If I'm assuming Blood Moon... I guess I'm going to play Silencian Sanctuary here. And if they have the moon, I'm just going to be really, really sad. Ooh, no land. Don't mind if I do. So we're going to play a land here. And I'm going to play into Force. But I think it's kind of important to make sure that I have at least one basic in play. Because that'll make it so... I guess I could have copied my own Saga. That would have been interesting. But just by having any basic in play, it just makes my Dryads that much better. Because next turn I can go... Nice. So now this turn I can go... Start by playing Amulet. Then I'm going to play Tracker. Force of Negation my Amulet. Sounds great. Pitching Shardless Agent. Yeah, this... I mean, the story of this game, I guess, is that my opponent did not find their lands on time, right? Petty Theft? Sure, that's fine. Blood Moon, Blood Moon, Blood Moon. How do we beat it? Just gonna play a land. Yeah, so we're just gonna try to... If they Blood Moon me, they destroy my Saga, but then they don't kill my Tracker. Here's the Blood Moon. Yeah. So now we're just gonna have to do Tracker things. If I find a basic... Okay, that's actually a basic. That's great. So, play this. Crack this, I guess. Play land. Crack for 5. And now next turn we're going to be able to Expedition Map for basic. Okay, so they probably have Rhinos. So Expedition Map. We can actually get rid of the Blood Moon. Very nice. Crack a basic forest. Cast my basic forest. Pass the turn. We're not going to attack because we actually have good blocks on the Rhinos. Here's Violent Outburst. And we can 1-2 blow up the Blood Moon. We have 6 mana. So that seems good. So I'm going to spend this turn blocking a Rhino and cracking Clue. And then next turn we can do things. Crashing Footfall suspended. I'm going to block you. You may think I'm not going to block you, but I'm going to block you. In fact, I think I don't even... Yeah. I don't even have to blow up this Blood Moon just yet. Because that will give my opponent... Yeah, that'll give my opponent stuff to do, right? I don't want my opponent to be able to do stuff. So now we go, that's nice. 3, we go Tracker, play land. We go Dryad, play land. Tap for green, Gracer, play land. Say go. I'm probably gonna chump. I'm gonna chump with the Gracer. I'm gonna chump with the Gracer because these beats become immense. We just go to 1. But we untap with Tracker and with Dryad here. Another Tracker. So now we can go play Tracker, crack a bunch of clues. Yeah, that seems good. And we can just... Now my Trackers are bigger than my opponent's. Yeah, I think I'm just playing out this Boseiju actually. Land? Perfect. I don't think I play this one out, even though I can. So, I guess we just pass the turn. I just don't want my opponent to be able to beat me down in the air. But now I can go Boseiju, blow up Blood Moon, and then cast Titan in the same turn, and that should win. Just gonna hardcast Fury. Okay. They still don't have good attacks. And now we just have lethal. Good job, gals. Good job. Nice. Boseiju, blow up that one. Pact, Prime Time. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have exactly enough to kill them. So we have not made a land drop, so we're gonna go Valakut plus bounce land. Gonna bounce the basic and just kill them. Nice, good showing for the trackers. Good, really good showing for Tireless Tracker in that game. Okay, speaking of trap hands, this one's terrible. This one is a lot better. So keep this one. We're gonna bottom the Grazer. Pretty solid. Nice. So this allows me to play Amulet on 1, which is neat. I think it's neat. So now we can go second Amulet, play Growth Chamber, play Dryad. Oh, just straight up win the game. Sounds good. Spell Pierce! Ugh. Okay, you got me. I have been got. I could have played around it, but I don't think I'm supposed to. So let's explore, and I bounced the bounce land because I'm not guaranteed to find another one. Obviously I did, so now I get punished, but this is still fine, I think. Still fine. This is fine. It's like the little dog meme. This is fine. So I guess this is another creativity gamer. Oh no. Polluted Delta. Okay. Well, do I want to bait out a counter spell? I think I do. But I led on Tolaria West there, so that next turn I can... Okay, sweet. So that next turn I can go bounce land into Transmute. Because even if the Amulet gets destroyed, I can still do that. But, yeah. So I guess it's not creativity because they wouldn't have Delta, right? Like, they need all of their lands to find mountains. Fatal Push, that's fine. What the hell am I playing against? We can transmute for Cavern, which we will. But, oh, I can also just, you know, draw the Cavern of Souls. That's also a possibility. I'm still gonna, like, transmute here to give my opponent a false... Also, it uses my mana, but it gives my opponent a false sense of security, I guess. Like it's gonna force them to effectively hold up counter spell, otherwise I'm gonna tighten them, quote unquote. The truth of the matter is that I don't even need to cast this Summoner's Pact, and I'm just going to make an uncounterable Titan regardless. So opponents over there playing 4 colors with Snapcaster Mage for beatdown. So they're just playing 4-color control. Wow. Yep. Just playing some honest magic. You love to see it. You love to see it. It's honest work, but you know, somebody's gotta do it, right? Renin 6. How will I ever beat that card? How does anybody ever beat the card Renin 6? How about an uncounterable boy? What could my opponent have here? It would need to be exactly Terminate. Drowning the Lock doesn't do it. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for haste here. And I'm only really doing this because I already have another Titan in hand. If I didn't have another Titan in hand, I would not do this right here. But because I do, and if they tap out for Terminate here, I just get to, you know, play around Counterspell very nicely. Then, yeah. Okay, so we're playing against some sort of weirdo control deck. So I love the Endurances and I love the Trackers. Not a huge fan of Grazer, though they may actually have, access to Ragavan. We actually don't know. I want to cut Castle because we're gonna be casting our Titans and the rest of our stuff through Cavern of Souls. I'm cutting Grazer, so I don't want to cut Explore, but I could see myself cutting 1 Amulet, potentially 1 Ursa's Saga. I'm expecting dress downs and stuff like that. Could also see cutting 1 of the Bosages, but just like the untapped green source is such great value. 4-color control, quite brave from my opponent. This hand has Cavern of Souls, which is very good in the matchup, so I think I'm going to keep it. It's also very nice that I can just basically play everything through Cavern. Opponent kept 7. I can even cast a Grazer through Cavern if I wanted to. Turn 1 Water Grave. Not suspicious whatsoever. My best draw would be Dryad. Actually, Asusa in this context. Asusa would be actually better than Dryad as a draw right now. Abundant Growth. Okay. Gonna play Valak and say go. So my opponent obviously has Spell Pierce over there. And Mortigo. Blood Moon. Alright. You got me. I have been got. I also love how their deck is like, if they don't draw the Abundant Growth alongside the Blood Moon, like, it just doesn't do anything. This is the best Blood Moon that has been cast against me in a very, very long time. That is so funny to me. That is so funny to me. It's good to know that it's Blood Moon and it's not Magus of the Moon. Magus would be a lot more annoying out of their deck. We're half the way there. All we need to do is find the basic forest. So I'm obviously gonna sandbag these Cavernous Souls forever. That's an amulet. Yeah, I'll cast that. Why not? Just throw it out there. See what happens. Icefen Quaddle on my end step. Alright. It has begun. It has begun. My opponent also flashed in a Snapcaster on my end step just to triple that clock. Love it. Basic forest? No basic forest, but that's fine. So we're gonna be discarding what? Probably have to discard. They haven't. What? Is this just like a flash 3/4? Is that what it is? Because I think that's what it is. Actually, I should have been the Explorer there. That was a mistake. Because once I draw the basic forest, we're just gonna do everything in the same turn. Yeah, and that was the last turn. Because now I'm not gonna be able to back my Titan with counter magic. So consider. I love that they played Blood Moon with only a single basic. It's good that they fixed this bug though. Like, cause in the past, if the Blood Moon came after the Abundant Growth, it would like negate the Abundant Growth, and this is how it's supposed to work. Basic Forest? Nope. Okay. Wow. Blood Moon is something. Alright, so we're definitely cutting another Saga here. And I think everything else looks good. I don't think I want Dismember. I don't think I want Explosives, nor Force of Vigor. Okay, so yeah, let's keep this. And I'm gonna get to pop this before the Blood Moon shows up. So that means that I'm happy keeping this hand. It's probably gonna find Expedition Map instead of Amulet though. Unless I already find my bounce land. If I do find my bounce land, I'm gonna be very happy. Basic Forest into Abundant Growth. Land would be great. No land. So let's actually play the Valakut. So if I find the Dryad, I can still transmute this. Oh no, my opponent's got a bunch of basics. That's brutal. Okay. Float a mana. Get map. Crack for a basic forest. Play a forest. Say go. Maybe I should have played Cavern there. Opponent's playing such a weird deck. Kind of interesting, actually. I have dabbled in that space, and it was not very good. I did not have good experiences while trying out stuff like that. Well, here's an Explorer. Damn. Yeah, I love the Explorer eating a counter spell. I love the Explorer eating a counter spell. 4 mana, Jace. Okay. I mean, I just have to find lands. If I find lands, I think I'm gonna win. That's a Saga. That's a land. So I can go play this, play these on human, play Azusa, play bounce land, bounce Cavern, replay Cavern on Giant. Okay, and now my opponent can Blood Moon me, and that would suck, but it kind of is what it is. They have to land the Blood Moon right here. Anything past this turn is probably not going to matter. We have 7 mana currently. But we actually cannot cast Cultivator. We're missing 1 green. Opponent fetches for Breeding Pool. Boseiju my Cavern. Okay, so now we can just go the Saga route instead. Attack Jace. We have used our map already, which is kind of awkward. Call against command. 2 damage to any card to any target, discard the card. Interesting. Okay. So now we're gonna be able to make a construct, put some pressure on Jace. And then my opponent's deck has all the cards. Straight up, all of the cards are over there. We have 3 caverns. Oh, they drew Ren. Ren Boseiju is pretty rough. Okay, here's a construct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have to float mana here, unfortunately. Amulet, Giant. Do we have the Gust? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Steal my Amulet. Resolves. I mean, this does mean that I can't attack Jace. Punish for not having Crumbling Vestige in my deck. Super punish for not having Crumbling Vestige in my deck. I have Play My Land already. So we're gonna get... what? Probably Boros Garrison. And we're out of sagas. We've used them both. So I guess we just get 2 bounce lands? Yep. This means I get to protect both Cavern of Souls and Tulare West. Attack, Jace. I mean, they still have to deal with this on board Primeval Titan. This is this is no joke. I'm actually kind of interested by the fact that they're choosing to splash, in a deck like this, they're choosing to splash black instead of white. White would give them access to like stuff like Prismatic Ending, Leyline Binding. Seems like it would be a lot more of a fruitful splash than just doing this instead. Though I may be wrong. Let's see what my opponent's got over there. We're gonna be doing some Boseijuing. Okay, that's good, because it uses their mana for something that's uneventful. I guess I could have played around Blood Moon, huh? I could have played around Blood Moon if I wanted to. Maybe that was a mistake. Because I could have gotten Bounce Land plus Boseiju there. Yeah, maybe that was a mistake. Okay. They use J, so I assume they have an answer to Prime Time. We untap. It's a Dryad, nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I do have enough mana to, I think, do everything. So I'm just going to go to Compact first and force my opponent to do something. Please tell me they're going to Cryptic Command me or something. No Cryptic. A little bit disappointing, not going to lie. So this covers Jace. Now we can go Boseiju plus, I guess, another... Can go Boseiju Sanctuary. This is just to make sure that we don't get got by Blood Moon. So they're gonna play a snake here and they're gonna trade with my Prime Time, I think. Ha! Look at the value that they got. They go to Triumph and untapped. Crazy value. So if they tap out here, they lose. So that's nice. If they tap out, they just lose. So they can't do that. Endurance. That's fine. Please target me with the Endurance. Okay. They were smart. They targeted nothing. Good play. Good play. Snapcaster 2. Okay. Gonna get that Concealer for value. Oof. Okay. They still don't have good blocks. Like this makes no sense. Well, I mean, now they're dead. But it still makes no sense. Like, why would they... I don't think they did the math. I think they just messed it up. They just made a mistake. I don't think I should look too much into that. So they have only 1 mana left. And much to do with it. Flashback Concealer. You got it. Oh, maybe they have Subtlety, actually. Maybe they have Subtlety. They don't. Alright, we win that one. Okay, last match to finish off this Monday evening Amulet playing. I think I'm keeping this hand. So we can go turn 1 Gracer into Saga. And then the fact that we're playing against the Kaheera deck makes me think that there's probably some counterspells going to be involved. So both the tokens from the Saga and the Cavern for the counterspells are going to be relevant. So I think that this is a fine keep given those constraints. So yeah, play that Saga, pass the turn back. Put him wool to 6. Misty Rainforest. Okay. Well, I definitely need to make the construct, so I just have to expose the land there, which I'm not super stoked about, but it's fine. I think I'm just gonna name Giant here, and where Gracer is gonna get in there for sure. Boom. Now the question is, what do I do? What do I do with this expedition map that I'm gonna get off of this Saga? Because the awkward thing is that I'm not gonna be able to fetch for, like, I'm not gonna have an Amulet, right? So that makes the Saga decision a lot, the expedition map decision a lot tougher. So make construct on my opponent's end step, untap. I'm just gonna make another construct here. I have to assume that whatever we get is gonna get Leyline Binding, I guess. So I think, given that, I'd rather an Amulet get Binding than the Expedition map. So play the Valakut, which doesn't really do anything, but swing for 3. So if we do find a green bounce land and the board state doesn't change, we are gonna be able to cast a prime time next. Eladamri's Call for Recent Reef. Okay, so we're actually playing against Elementals, which I'm not sure if it's better or worse, actually. I mean, it all depends on whether I do find this bounce land. If I do find this bounce land off the top, that's just gonna be game, so... Okay, that's weird. So they have Recent Reef in hand, but they choose to Fury before playing the Recent Reef? Are they gonna Ephemerate this? They are, okay. I mean, that's kind of great for me, actually. That's very good for me. Never mind, it's not good anymore. Alright, so we know they have Recent Reef, and we know they have an Ephemerate coming up. So I'm just gonna play out this Gracer, because the Gracer is... it's gonna chump block this Fury anyways. So, block. Ha. Got it. There's the Recent Reef, and if I find any land, I'm gonna be in very good shape. Any land at all, I'll take that. And this may seem weird, but I think it's actively better for me to do this and kill the Recent Reef while they can't protect it, because this is how they get out of hand. Like, I can beat an Omnath, I can beat my Dryad getting answered. I'm gonna take 6 from this Fury over here, but I can beat all of this stuff, no problem. What I cannot beat is when all of this stuff actually draws a card in the process. That's when things get impossible for me. So I think it's much more important to prioritize getting rid of the Recent Reef right there while I know that the gating is good, than even resolving this Primeval type. So that may seem like a weird play right there, but I just believe it's the right place. Right? The Fairy Time Traveler is fine. Now that I got rid of the Recent Reef, like it just doesn't matter anymore. I can just take this turn to resolve my prime time. I'm probably gonna go... I guess I want to go double bounce land here, so I can develop my mana and I can double spell next turn. Yeah, I think so. So let's go just double Growth Chamber. I guess I can go Growth Chamber Sanctuary. This also allows me to double strike if I feel like I need to. Bounce Boseiju, bounce like this, whatever, doesn't matter. And now send the turn back. So we're gonna be taking 6 more from this Fury. That's fine. Doesn't matter too much. Solitude getting rid of the prime time, that's gonna matter a lot more. Red and 6 doesn't do anything unless there's a Boseiju on my opponent's side. And right here I have enough mana. I actually have enough mana to go Dryad into prime time. Fetch. Get the fetch. Gonna gain the life from Omnath, so we're gonna get the mana. Let's see if they have the stuff to beat me. It's basically Solitude, really. Okay, they do have this. That's fine, though. We take 6, and then we just go Dryad prime time. Potentially win from there. Summoner's Pact. So if the last 2 cards are... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If their last 2 cards are Solitude plus white card, they can get out of this. But we're just gonna go Valakut Vesuva here. Copy that. Gonna go face with this. Always yes. Okay, Elementals. It's been a while since I played this matchup. It's not that popular of a deck anymore. Ujugabog doesn't really matter. Cavern doesn't really matter. Endurance I don't care about. We definitely wanted these members. And cut a Gracer. They could have Leyline Binding. And maybe Colony Garden could be relevant. Big maybe. Huge maybe. But it could be relevant. I think I'd rather have 1 more land over the Gracer though. So now we have prime times. The Cultivator Colossus is usually the game plan in this matchup. You want to like basically play a slow game until you eventually... you want to be setting up a Colossus the vast majority of the time, and then you just do everything in a single turn once you finally get to Colossus mana. I could honestly even see... Let's bring in 1 Engineered Explosives over the 3rd Gracer. Just having access to the singleton allows me to transmute for it if I want to and get rid of maybe a Recent Reef in a way that my opponent can't protect, which is nice. Because otherwise they can stop my Dismember thanks to Ephemerate, which I did see in game 1. Wow, no reveal Kaheera. Yeah, so that just has to mean, I'm going to keep this hand, but that has to mean that they have Force of Vigor. Here, I'm going to lead on Valakut because I get to play around Prismatic Ending. Now I can go turn 2. Actually, we can just continue sandbagging, actually. I really like that. So we can go turn 2, explore into Valakut, just sandbag this Amulet for as long as possible, make my opponent's Prismatic Ending pretty bad. Turn 2 Ren is good. It's going to mean that they're going to hit all the land drops, but I'm not super afraid of Ren specifically out of the Elementals deck. So let's play that out, pass the turn. Recent Reef here is very scary though. The Fairy I just don't care about at all. That's fine. So let's lead on Explore. Cavern. No blue mana at all is kind of awkward. So I think I'm gonna go Saga, see if my opponent does anything. They may force this. They don't. Just gonna name Giant here. And just gonna play Expedition Map. I'm still not sure what I'm gonna be fetching with this Expedition Map. But just by throwing it out there, it kind of entices my opponent to force, maybe. They're probably gonna minus on the Saga. Minus the Fairy on the Saga. That's kind of what I'm setting them up to do. The plus instead. Okay. Not play a land to fetch with Ren. Okay. So, I think we just untap. Dryad is gonna play Tolera West and say go. Man, these draws have not worked out. These draws have not worked out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're gonna have a bunch of mana here, but we're gonna have Amulet next turn. So I'm gonna see if my opponent just pluses the Fairy again because of that. Call for Obsidian Charmo. You got it, chump. You got it, champ. They blow up Valakut. Okay. Interesting. They're just gonna Ephemerate this. Getting back Strand. So we know they have Windswept Heath in there. Here's a construct. I don't want to like pass priority and then my opponent gets to they get to actually blow up my Expedition Map. I'm gonna take 4. This actually pressures their walkers potentially. Okay, that's fine. Ephemerate. Now they're gonna blow up the Saga. Okay. So now I think I crack map for Growth Chamber. Jesus. They should blow up the Tolera West here. Oh, wow! So they have Counterspell? Well, that's huge. So they have 2 Ephemerates that are coming back. How can I beat that? Play Amulet? No, I actually can't. I actually can't beat that. So I'm just gonna... I guess I'm gonna get... I don't know, like a Cavern of Souls, and I'm just gonna concede the game. Because I can't beat 2 Ephemerates on the Charmo. Wow, okay, so Cavern of Souls coming back in. Castle going out. And I think everything else is the same. Yeah, everything else I think it's just these hands. These hands are so rough. Oh, yeah. Let's go to 5. Hand's just too bad. This one is quite good, actually. Okay, so what are we going to do? We're going to keep this. Bottom that. Play Vesuva. Go. Huh. Can't do anything with that. Play Celestian Sanctuary. Go. Okay, so we are 1 draw away from just doing whatever the hell we want here. Nice Cavern of Souls in your Ren and 6 deck. Also Counterspell deck, I just noticed. Am I playing into Force? Because I can play 2 Amulets. 2 Amulets, play Bounce Land, that's 4 mana plus 1 floating. I think I'll just play this on Giant and say go. My goal here is to make my opponent's mana as awkward as possible. So like if they tap out for something like the Fairy here, like a Recent Reef, now I just get to do everything in the same turn. Sure, they can have Force of Vigor, but like I mulled to like whatever right here. So I mulled to 5. I'm probably never gonna beat Force of Vigor on a mull to 5. So why even bother? Here's this. Play my bounce land. Load some mana. Here's a Dryad. Here's this. And we lose to Subtlety. Summoner's backed. Primeval Titan. Looks like my opponents have 6. Bounce this. Cast Prime Time. Do the thing. Get the 4-1. Man, I really don't know what it is, but there's just something so satisfying about playing Amulet and getting that 4-1. Man, that 4-1 is love, 4-1 is life, and 4-1 is the Amulet way, of course. Never a trophy, but also always ahead of the pack. This list is still pretty good. It's what I would recommend. The only card that I am seriously considering trying to make a room for is Crumbling Vestige, potentially over the castle. This castle could be a Crumbling Vestige, and I could see situations where that would matter and that would be actually better. But besides that, this list is just pure gasoline. It just goes and goes and never stops. And I really like it. I think it's very well set up against the current metagame. It has plans against all of the big decks. Besides creativity, which we just saw today, where the plan is just hope they don't kill you too quickly. That matchup, I don't think it's super great. But we did beat Rhinos. We did beat like some other Blood Moon decks as well. Actually, we beat both of the Blood Moon decks we faced, and we also beat the Prowess deck, which obviously, I mean, I missed lethal, but wasn't punished. But that matchup has always felt like it was just problematic. And today we actually beat it. So we actually beat a non-zero amount of bad matchups today, which always feels good. That's the power of Amulet. Sometimes you just, it has remained tier 0 exactly, no bad matchups, whatever. That's going to be it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. And yeah. Long live Amulet. Amulet is awesome. If you want to support my content, you can do so by hitting the like and subscribe button on the channel. And also, you can support it for free whenever you use TCG Player and Mana Traders. Links in the description of the video. And support directly through Patreon, direct donations, any donation of $30 or more, and I will play any deck list of your choice. And we actually have another very spicy dono coming in tomorrow. And yeah, coaching sessions also available. So see you later, folks. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and no better way to start the week than this one.